What is good, Cardano fam, ADA gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today. Long, heartfelt messages from Charles, drama, Kim Dotcom wants to build something on Cardano, and more. So hit that subscribe, hit that like. Cardano ADA DEX Trading Volume surpasses 45 million ADA this week. Chris brought this to my attention. Kim Dotcom is a fan of Cardano. Wonder if he holds any ADA. Well, he responded to Charles Hoskinson saying, "You need a killer app. I do killer apps." Kim Dotcom, if you've been sleeping under a rock, mega upload, massive name, huge in Web 2, and controversial name, but still huge, very notorious. And however you feel about Kim Dotcom, just put the emotions aside. Let's take a look at his old posts, previous cycle. I like Cardano and I respect Charles. And Charles has a long, heartfelt message. Let's dive into it. One of the deepest lessons I've taken to heart over the past decade is that becoming a public figure means you turn into a human test where those who don't like you will take any post or comment and assume the worst possible interpretation. Working on Cardano in this past decade has been a whirlwind of emotions, challenges, and tremendous obstacles to overcome. It's been a journey that not everyone completed, and watching friends fade, false starts, and ending up in a place unexpected but not undesired is hard to process. I took a drive alone, which I rarely do since getting a security detail, and shared the moment with everyone. It was something I felt appropriate because so many of us went on this journey together and are also feeling so much that it is sometimes hard to express in words. It gave me comfort seeing the comments from kindred spirits who got what I was saying, and I suppose I accept how fragile and damaged the other comments are. People in our industry are so used to scams, rug pulls, and evil founders that they can't comprehend an honest ecosystem or the best efforts of so many thousands of people. It tells me that we have a very long road ahead to heal the damage. It also tells me a lot of where humanity is. We don't get to have moments to enjoy a pure accomplishment anymore. What Cardano has done is one of the greatest technical achievements in human history. A distributed system that runs in more than 100 countries, which has never shut down, without central coordination, just seamlessly upgraded for millions of people who have never met each other to evolve into a decentralized nation, complete with its own constitution. The audacity is absurd. This dwarfs Bitcoin. It's unique, and books will be written about what has happened. Cardano is now a governance virus that is living, self-replicating, and self-sustaining. It has intelligence and a will to survive and grow. Nothing can shut it down. Nothing can stop its growth. Where all of this could go is what I was thinking about while driving. We created something alive together. Now we all get to live in a world where it exists. So Chang Hard Fork, it was successful. This is part 1. So we can expect part 2 in the next 90 days, give or take. And yes, this governance is something extremely exciting. I think people really undermine getting here. I see trolls troll, but the data doesn't lie. We're in the Voltaire era. Cardano, Charles, everyone involved has been working meticulously and delivering. And so it's quite I can definitely understand a little bit of these pain points of sometimes a lot of these pains are hard to articulate with words. And it's insane that we can't even celebrate an accomplishment. We're just always when price go up, when price go up, when price go up. And sometimes I remember my old coworker Akil, he would say, you got to focus on the mission, not the money. If you focus on the mission, the money will come. And that's much like Bitcoin, right? The mission. And I think the same thing with Cardano. Cardano has continued to be fudded left and right. It was one transaction per block last cycle. This cycle, it was, it's not decentralized. It's the Genesis keys. Well, the Genesis keys are burned and we are into the governance era. So what now? What new FUD will they come up with? I think people really do an injustice to the hard work done by all the engineers, all the developers, the leadership by Charles. It's just crazy, and I don't understand it. Why can't we just celebrate these moments because they are massive? Especially this, what he said down here about this, without central coordination, just seamlessly upgraded for millions of people who have never met each other. We have workshops in every country going on to increase awareness with Intersect and whatnot. I think I'll be attending the Toronto one, 26th of September. So if you guys are in Toronto, let me know. I'm still on the fence about that one, so the traffic's crazy in Toronto. But let's Let's take a moment and enjoy Chang Hard Fork, guys. Like, I think people's expectations are absurd. But we'll come to the drama in just a moment. So, Kim Dotcom saying you need a killer app to that. I think there are some great apps already. We already went to nearly $3 with basically no, like there was no Sunday swap. There was not much. It was the Alonzo Hard Fork, if I'm not mistaken. But who knows? I think like I welcome that. I think everyone's welcome to Cardano fam, and I think that Kim could bring some value. And now with governance, people can vote, people can delegate. You can always delegate to someone else and change your mind. So I think that the public can vote with their wallets, and who knows? Like who knows what Kim will come up with. All I know is back in the college days, I was using like the Vega upload and all that goodness back in the day, the memories, the nostalgia. But what do you guys think? Like, do you think Kim.com could actually build something like a killer app? Does Cardano have a killer app, or does it need a killer app? Do you think that Kim.com could actually deliver something? So there's some interesting statements here. I'm not involved technically. What the hell do people think that I do at IOG? So it just blows my mind, guys, that like people have the audacity, and it's a good segue into this. Chris was saying, Cardano fam, I would love to see as one of the first community governance actions to retain Charles and IOHK Media to rapidly accelerate prototyping, development, and fielding of Ouroboros, Peras, and Leos. Input endorsers. What say you, Cardano? And then this is the response. This is where it goes downhill. No. Charles leaving Cardano would be a positive. He did a great job to create Cardano. Now let him move on and let the community take over. Like as if it's some sort of like ultimatum, like you gotta go. It's decentralized. People participate, don't participate. There can be 500 pump funds. Consumers show up and vote with their Cardano, whether that's like paying for something and landing there or voting for something through DREP and what have you. Response says who should be contracted for further core development, for example, scaling. And he says, I wouldn't mind contracting IOG if Charles isn't CEO. He's not involved technically anyways. Or otherwise hire one of the many other software development firms. Already there are firms working on scaling Cardano. The Hydra team that's currently part of IOG. And I think that this is my response. I actually responded saying that now I know which project not to cover anymore. And these are the type of people I gotta mute. Because it's like, for months now, Charles has been saying on YouTube and elsewhere, I'm sure you guys have seen, that he will still play a role. He's not just like, he's playing a role, but it's more as one of us. Like he's playing a role with IOG, he's playing a role with engineers. There's still going to be guidance. There's still going to be like stuff that they propose, funds that they ask for, contributions that they will provide. It kind of blows my mind that people think that A, Charles is not playing any role, because he is, and B, thinking that it's like, oh yeah, it's positive if this founder just GTFOs. Like, what are these people smoking? Like, it's just very bizarre. I don't understand that type of mentality. And so I agree with this. Like, what the hell do people think he does? Like, he just sits there? Like, what is wrong with me? It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So I think this is a prominent project, but it's just the attitude of founders like this. Of course, it's going like, I don't know much about this founder, but like, it's just bizarre. Oh, wow. Here we go. Oh, this is great, guys. Live and direct. I'll address this briefly. I'm listening to you. I hear you. I know some of you think I'm toxic. That's okay. I always advocate for free speech, regardless of, and look, freedom of speech, no problem, but it's not free of consequence. You always got to remember that. That's why it's always good to work with excellence and integrity and be kind, guys. Kindness will get us very far. And I got to be kinder too. That's okay. And he says, I've been critical of Indigo to make Indigo number one. It's a free market. Yeah, it is a free market. For sure, it is a free market, but that's why you gotta stay muted, you know what I'm saying? So moving on, Chang upgrade was successful, guys. September 1st goes down as the Chang Day, you know, and in honor of Phil Chang, shout out to Phil and his contributions. The power to decide and liberty to act is the only true freedom, Voltaire. Voltaire decentralized governance is activated. Cardano holders have now power to decide the fate of the protocol on chain. Have nothing more powerful to say than thank you for the hard work. And it looks like it's been pretty good. A lot of dApps are doing some maintenance, some updates. So if there's an app you're using, just make sure you check their Twitter if they've been doing some updates, if something is not working, if there's a bug. Most bugs are getting resolved very quickly. 2 hours after the Chang Hard Fork that introduced the Voltaire era to the mainnet, Cardano is operating smoothly without any issues. Cardano has continued to run without a single second of unexpected downtime ever. In these 2 hours, I made 2 transactions. My friend Lucas registered as a DREP. I minted a Tappy from TapTools using NMKR, and people are delegating already. They're coming in, so it's great. Very good. Everything is functioning normally, but now with more features. Cointelegraph put a post saying Cardano's Chang Hard Fork successful as it shifts to decentralized governance. And this is actually a pretty decent thread. So they go over how it went live yesterday, the highly anticipated fork. The new governance structure enables any ADA holder to submit or participate in the voting process for governance actions as part of the project's Voltaire upgrade phase. And mind you guys, you can stake simultaneously. It doesn't leave your wallet. There's so much beautiful utility baked right into Cardano. Today's Chang Hard Fork marks a major milestone for the Cardano blockchain ecosystem and community, fulfilling the promise of a truly self-governing, decentralized network. I can't recall where I heard it, guys, but Cardano is been made for like exactly the compliance that we need it to be. It really is truly, in my opinion, like above industry standard. It's like Bitcoin, but Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Satoshi like is Charles. That's like the equivalent. You know what I'm saying? If Bitcoin is Krillin, if Bitcoin is like, you know, one of those guys in Dragon Ball, Cardano is Goku, like, you know, Super Saiyan Blue. Chang implements on-chain participatory governance via CIP 1694, allowing direct voting or delegation. I don't know exactly which DREPs I would point to, but I'm thinking in my gut, like Stake with Pride, maybe Hosky. I know that they've been very critical and aware, and I would put my trust more in people who are active. You want to keep an eye out and always remember that you can also move your delegation if maybe like a week from today, month today, they don't align with your views. So make sure you do your research, whoever you want to do DREP. I need to get more involved in this also. That's part of why I want to attend the workshop September 26th. It also establishes a constitutional committee and a new governance role for stake pool operators, which will be phased in over the next 90 days. So this is like also part of onboarding. It's also part of onboarding for the next 90 days, the part 2. The goal of the first stage of the upgrade is to ensure security and continuity during the governance bootstrapping phase, according to the Cardano Foundation. So exciting times ahead, guys. Many updates. Guys have been quick. I saw DexHunter 1 hour after the other getting everything back online. DCA is also back online. All DexHunter core features should be working now. Quick update from Rosen Bridge also. They did some rewards updates, but let's focus on EVM. We're updating the watchers and guards to support ERSN. Keep an eye out for instructions. Once that's done, we can publish the bridge's asset page. After that, we need to polish the EVM user interface, test it, and then deploy. Very nice. And another update, core modules of Big Int and EVM decimal drop management and the introduction of ERSN has been a priority of late. They're completed, pending release to guards and watchers. So we should see Ethereum integration very soon. And mind you, Rosen Bridge is moving liquidity from a lot, Ergo to Cardano. I think it's Bitcoin as well. So there's a lot that you can do on Rosen Bridge. This and WAN Chain are my favorite profiles to check out for bridges. There was a 1 hour podcast interview, audio interview done. So if you guys like ebooks, you like listening to an audio interview, this might interest you. The CEO of Cardano Foundation had a chat with CoinMarketCap and fabulous. It wasn't sort of like a recap or anything, but if you guys do want to check it out, they dive into ecosystem growth, Cardano Summit updates and whatnot. Finest, so they surprised us. They first started with Granite, and Finest, if you don't know, bunch of chads came together making Finest, which is 100% compliant, EU compliant, real world assets, and they asked for it, they deliver. The next tokenized real world asset on Finest is gold. So first Granite, gold. They're going to be bringing a bunch of stuff. And the good news, it's coming sooner than you might think. So very nice. I think people would like this. And they seem to be at the very top, like the Bugatti of RWAs on Cardano. So it's going to be interesting to see how this evolves over time. Finally, before we go into price, alt season is not here yet, guys. I put this post up this morning. Global Bitcoin search is at 17% compared to the hundo at May of 2021. That's an 83% delta. USA ranks 28th. It's been going down. It's went down a couple of ranks. 28, guys. 28th, okay? So we're not here. We're not here. Like, we have a lot. And mind you, there's an interesting paradox between alt season. As it gets fudded and fudded and fudded and fudded, and as Bitcoin global search goes lower and lower, we reach that very low before we send it. Because you kind of have to like think of contrast, right? A very quiet sound gives a lot of meaning to a loud sound, right? It's kind of like audio. It's kind of like everything else. So when it sends it very low, Cardano may drop to like 29 cent, 28 cent, 25 cent, and then send it. And they're correlated to one another. Notice we're heading into the colder months. And we're in September right now. I think this jitter, sideways jitter and FUD is only going to increase with more downside volatility before we send it. But like I've said before, I think it's kind of replicating a momentum like this. Now, mind you, I don't think it's going to go to 15 cents or like 10 cents. But I think we may dance with those local bottoms. I think we might start dancing with the 24, 25 cent. We're not far away from it too. I like to look at trends more than TA. You know, TA is not my forte. I like to look at the social sentiments, the trends, because they can also sculpt and show you, because a lot of it's just psychological and social trends. So you guys know that for months we said post-halving, it's going to be bearish, sideways bearish. It has been true so far. We know that midnight and partner chains are probably going to be like Q1, Q2 also. They've said that early 2025. So everything's shaping up to, plus the 90 days, right? Chang Part 2, 90 days. That's another 3 months again. So it's not coincidence, guys. We're going into the election in another 2 months. So look at 2 months election, 3 months Chang like Part 2. Midnight, early 2025. Cold months, spending habits, combined with a lack of Bitcoin global search, 83% away from the tops here. 28th for USA. We need USA to be in the top 10. We need this to start climbing. Then we can actually say we're like in an alt season. You combine that with a very high Bitcoin dominance of like 57, 58%. We're not at that 40% plunge here. We're not at that 38, 40% plunge of Bitcoin dominance for both that 2021 high and the 2018. So I think this is going to continue. I think, guys, this is like our final moment to just DCA, pump up the bags. And in the meantime, I'd be taking a look at projects, high quality dApps, but also like delegating. And I think that, like I said, I think Hosky and some others, let me know, guys, if you have anyone that you're delegating to, any other projects you want me to check out. Would love to know your thoughts about Chang Hard Fork. But let's celebrate this moment. I think there's a lot of negativity and a lot of stupid FUD. I don't really understand dumb posts like this, like saying that it's good if Charles is leave. Like, what are you on, bro? So in the spirit of Angry Crypto, man, like button this, man. In the spirit of Angry Crypto, this button has more utility than like 99% of crypto anyways. So with that being said, remember, negativity is sticky. Remember to separate and focus on the signal. Remove the noise. You know, sometimes like stuff like that's just noise. And I think before we close up, guys, maybe they're going to have some conversations. I know we're kind of split still about Elon and Charles, but maybe, just maybe, Kim Dotcom might deliver some killer app. So what do you think about Kim Dotcom and the killer app? Do we need it? Do we already have it? Do you think Kim is a troll? Hit that subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you in the next Agri Crypto show.